I know at some point the audience probably gonna feel like we beating a dead horse, but we can't stress this enough because if you can't keep up with the technology, you will get left behind.
What's going on? Welcome back to an episode of the Wrap It Up podcast. Today we're gonna do a mini pod, not quite a full length. I want to be able to kind of control. I don't want this immediate conversation to get pushed back behind all the other episodes. But today I have my co-host with me, my man from the unaffiliated creators, the impeccable K.A. Everyday. How you doing, my brother?
Salute, salute. What's going on?
I'm good, man. Today, I want to talk about is 2025 about to be 2026? And the question is, what do you have to do with all the current technology, climate? What does an artist have to do to survive in 2025, 2026? To be, I don't even want to say relevant anymore because that's not even a good word to use. Profitable. Because a lot of people say, well, I do it because I love it, but it's still this business of music. I'm going to let you take that.
So there's two things, and we've kind of been having a lot of discussions about it. I know at some point the audience probably gonna feel like we beating a dead horse, but we can't stress this enough because if you can't keep up with the technology, you will get left behind. So I would tell any artist, one, you got to be able to keep up with the way that the technology is moving. So, i.e., AI is a big thing now, even if you hate it or if you like it. At some point, you're going to have to adapt what you're doing to be able to use some form of AI just to be able to keep up with this rat race that's called the music industry. And I would tell any artist now, you might want to start getting your mind out of the way of thinking of just, putting everything on stream and start training yourself to think more of direct consumer route, meaning that even if you had a song and you sold it for $1, you would probably make more money in the long run selling a song for $1 direct to consumer versus getting less than a penny per stream.
So I'm glad you said that because this is what drove. I know a lot of people say, well, y'all keep, like you're right. A lot of people say, well, you're beating a dead horse. A very well-known K-pop group proved that the record business is not broken. So I don't know if you read about this, but there's a famous K-pop group that went back to dropping CDs, and they made a killing just dropping CDs. And I'm guessing, however they did it, they pressed it up themselves, physical copies, and was able to like shatter some records and got the attention of a lot of people in 2025. I mean, I know people have been going to, nostalgic, LPs and cassettes, but are we ready to take it back to CDs? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think it's really how you train your audience. And what I mean by that is, and it's kind of like exclusivity is a part of it too. So let's just think about it. It's K-pop group you're talking about. I don't know exactly how they did it, but if I had to guess, if they didn't put any of their music on streams and the only way you could get the music was to buy the CD, then they
Exactly.
basically they was forcing their fans to buy the CD, and that's how you would have to do it.
That's exactly what they did. That was the only way that you could get it. Similar to what Kanye did with Donda 2. Was it Donda 2 where you had to buy the
Yeah,
little
you had to buy the device, yeah.
Yeah, for what was it, $200 for the device?
Yeah.
But I think in 2025, 2026, those are the measures that people are going to have to go back to. I mean, my question be, how much does it cost to press up enough CDs? I mean, we're talking about people are getting excited about 34,000 records sold in the first week. I mean, if we looked at it from a label perspective, $34,000 and the label had their hand in it. I think what was they giving back? $1 a CD back in the day. If you got $1, you was on that Beyonce level. If you got $1 back then, from back in the day. So imagine an artist saying, "Okay, check it. I'm gonna bust up. Maybe let's not say 34,000. Let's say I'm John Q artist. I got a good. If you go by the 10%, 2%, look at your your audience, the audience that's really engaged and press up 10% of what that number is, and then you should get a 2% um point of sale if they're truly engaged. You might get, and if you get higher than 2%, you actually did very well. So if I'm John Q, I got 20,000. Let's just say 50. Let's just say you got 50,000 followers, and you get 10% of those. If you take 10% of that, that's 5,000. Press up 5,000 CDs. You press up 5,000 CDs, you sell each CD for. So what do you think the going rate for a CD should be this in this era? I mean, I think the LPs, what, $13, $14?
Yeah, I would say
If
no
you go to
more than
Walmart,
$10.
no more than $10. Let's just say $10. 5,000. What's that? 50 grand?
$50,000.
$50,000 on an easy lit, right? Then you wrap it up with merch. Let's say you get a $100 bundle, right? You get the CD and a T-shirt, or a CD and a hoodie. Let's say a T-shirt and a CD is $50, and a hoodie and a CD is $100. You keep everything simple. Keep the hoodie get some one color, two color artwork. Get that on a hoodie with the CD. Nostalgia. Make sure your insert is all great, your album artwork, and then boom, that's 50 racks. Now, what's different when we used to now, because of streaming, people are used to getting music all the time. So that means that's a repeatable move that you can make, right? Let's say you might not drop it for those aggressive that have the artists, they could run that once a month. But let's just say for giggles, you did that once a quarter. Now your music becomes a $200,000 machine for you. Not to mention you do your private concerts on Patreon for what, $5-10 a view. Now you get more of them to engage with you there. So now you really got a business to really get behind and push. But the question becomes, how long in 2025 would a label really uh be wanting to interject and start shaking down artists that decide to press up their own CDs?
Well, I would say the only way that you would be able to do it would be if you was totally independent. If you some kind of way tied to a label, or you on some kind of record deal, got some kind of record deal with a label, I don't think they're gonna give you that kind of freedom and flexibility to be able to go direct to consumer, because you basically cutting them out.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, that is very true. But there's a lot of independent artists. But let's look at it this way: what good is putting anything on a DSP? What is the true? Explain to me the true value of a DSP right now. I do know that Tidal said if you hit the playlist, you get $100 a day for the week that you on that playlist. Now Tidal did step up and say that, but once again, there's gatekeepers involved with that. So first you got to be playlisted, right? And then once you're playlisted, you get $100 a day. So you can get up to $700, which I don't know how long would it take to get $700 with streams. It'd probably take you 100,000 streams to even get that, maybe 500,000. Well, 1,000,000 streams is $4,000. You want a quarter of that. It's probably about 200, 150, 200,000 streams will get you $700.
Yeah, at this point of the game, if you ain't a major artist, if you're not Drake, Beyonce, Kanye.
Right. Well, yeah, because if you put your stuff out, you just giving your money to them anyway. The way that works, as it stands
Yeah.
right now, because Spotify is probably the worst situation that you could be in. if you're an independent artist with all of their new rules and guidelines, and where they don't really, if you don't hit a certain amount, you get nothing. So all your hard work and music goes to support Taylor Swift or some other big name artist. For as a artist, I don't see the value in playing along with that game anymore. And the internet's is the internet always wins in some kind of way. Someone's going to figure out how to be disruptive. And I thought it was interesting that this K-pop group decided to go back the CDs out the trunk and play the old game. Because at one point, the technology, when CDs first came out, the technology was so high tech that you had to go through a distribution company to even get them pressed up. And we and you both know back in the day, that took a lot just to get them pressed up. But I think nowadays, you probably could get 5,000 CDs printed up for pretty cheap. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's definitely the way things are going until somebody, figure out some new way to do it or some new technology comes out or some new innovative way to do it. Um, I actually thought about playing around with some stuff myself that's actually kind of like along the lines of, direct to consumer. I don't know if people gonna do it because they might say, hey, you might be trying to get over on me. But at the end of the day, you only gonna be losing out on the dollar. So I share with y'all what I was thinking about doing. I was thinking about recording some songs, some music that I haven't put on DSPs, and I'll just tell my fans or the people that rock with me, follow me, whatever. I'm gonna say, hey, if you want this song, just cash out me $1. They cash out me $1, and I just email them the MP file.
Okay, so for my good people, I just pulled it up. For 5,000 CDs with the artwork, color printing, we're looking at $3,100. So let's go back. That may be a lot for somebody to come up with. Let's see. Bulk CDs only. Order now. Digipacks. Let's see. Let's do 500. Under $995 for 500 CDs. You do. So let's do the math. Let's say just $1,000, 500 CDs. Let's keep it a buck. Like if you really put some time and effort, I would do 2025 if I know I had a great piece of art. If it's just some stuff I'm throwing together every 2 weeks, yeah, I might do $10. But if I really put some time in, I wouldn't mind telling them give me $20. $20 for this. So now we got 500 CDs times $20. The math in my head, I don't know if I could do it that fast, but that should be somewhere about 500 times 20, 10 grand, a quick 20. You spend 1,000, make a quick 10. That's not a bad lick.
Ain't a
You know,
bad flip.
no. And then if you get the hoodies and then if you smart enough, get your transfers, get your heat press, you can even buy a used one. $200, $300, press you up some hoodies and tees, do it yourself. Like I said, $50, $100. And now you got your hoodie cost is about $10, $12 a hoodie. Your artwork on top of that is probably about $1, and a half. So you win $14, $15. You're gonna make $100 plus the CD, the cost of the CD. So, you're gonna end up making roughly $60 worth of profit around there per package. 100 times 500, then you're back at the 50. Minus your expenses, 1,000 for the CDs, let's say 1,000 for some hoodies and tees. First few sell out, you re-up with what you got coming in, then eventually you'll get the 50 stacks. That's not a bad lick. If you could drop a project once a quarter, you still back at 200 grand. And for those who, like a lot of artists, somebody like a Gucci Man, who used to drop an album a month,
Yeah.
it gets serious, right? Because it doesn't get serious until you really start till the money starts coming in. So at what point in 2025 are we really serious if we ain't got no money coming in? Whoo, you like how I spun that back.
Hey
If it
man, well,
ain't,
Hey, look, some people like having hobbies. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't making no money, it's just a hobby.
Mm, boy, yo, you used to tell me that it used to hurt.
Hey man, hey, you know,
I mean, I know like sync deals. Now I did see a post from someone, a producer that I've made the acquaintance, and the stance that that person made was, "It's 2025 is no real reason why a music producer or artist can't make any money." I agree, but it has to be broken down to that artist of how to do it. Now I do know with sync deals, licensing, but you can't. Your negotiating power when it comes to sync deals is going to be based off you having great music that people already love. And if you're unknown in the sync world, then you're going to get whatever the going rate is, right? You're going to get what 15-year-old Betty who cooking up in Fruity Loops. Don't get it twisted now. 15-year-old Betty, she cooking up that hot up in Fruity Loops after school. But you and her getting the same, y'all gonna get the same rate. There is no, hey, I've been doing this 15, 20 years. You're gonna get the same rate as that 15-year-old bedroom producer. Like, so you have to establish it. It all comes back to you have to establish yourself. You have to establish the audience, and you can't be afraid to make the content. Even I'm coming to that realization as I'm, constantly pushing to, doing the pod, doing these mini pods, and still making sure that I carve out time to make content and do media work, so I'm always busy. But to that artist that doesn't quite understand that what's in it for me when it comes to DSPs, I would strongly tell them, you don't have to get 500 CDs. Test market it. Do 100. Drop a project and only drop 100 CDs and it not hit the internet at all. See what happens. See what happens. It's 100 CDs. Nostalgia. You get the, hey, you want to, or raffle them off. Everybody put in, let's say you wanted $10 a CD, but in order, you got an audience, raffle off. Tell them, if you want a raffle ticket, give me $20, put out 500 raffle tickets. Only 100 people gonna get it, and you still only got 100 physical CDs, and the other one's gonna be, good luck to them. Make a big social media event out of it. Put all the tickets in a spindle, spin it around like you at the bingo hall, and count out 100 people that get the music. Or if you don't want to make comedy of your art, I understand that as well too. But try some other creative ways with that 100 unit sale and really take advantage of that and see how well your audience engages with that. And that should be your guiding light. You've test marketed that product and know that that product is good and solid. Keep repeating that process. And then eventually the sync deal will come to you versus you going to the sync deal. Because I would hate to see somebody out there put 6 months of their life, blood, sweat, and tears, and then only to go after a sync deal, and then you get the same bread that 15-year-old Betty got, and all she did was loop it up from splicing, which ain't nothing wrong with that. I do that myself, and Fruity Loops, and got it rocking. She went on YouTube, found a couple of videos of how to master that music and got it off. Right? Hey, it's real. Like, I had to, and we've talked about this before. I had to wake up, man. I had to wake up. Like, how can you win a war that you don't even know what the tools are? That's the real thing. You can, I can remember a time, all of us with our ASR 10s and MPCs, Akai MPC 2000, XLs 5000, we was laughing at these kids coming in the studio with them laptops. Them kids with them laptops won. And now we're back circling around to the nostalgia. I love it. Trust me. I was just at the Plug and Play this past Saturday, and shout outs to Crafty 757, Jet the General, Ilian, Roswell, Jack Analog, GK the Groundskeeper, Easy, a wonderful group of brothers. And I love the fact that that nostalgia is coming back and, people wanting to hear that sound again. But 15 years ago, we didn't take that other side serious. And I would tell you, to the laptop cats, you need to take this new wave of hardware coming back serious, because Akai just dropped the new MPC Live 3 and it's tearing up the internet. So everybody has to respect and be mindful of what you got to be in touch with what's going on. If you're not in touch with what's going on, then you're going to get ramrodded like we did 15 years ago. We was like, whoa, wait a minute. And I didn't told you before, I had to, I turned the off button to that MPC and turned the on button to that laptop and a controller, and had to get into Studio One and had to mash it out. And to everybody that asked, yes, I still use Studio One. I'm not on the current version. I'm on Studio One 6, maybe 6.2. I haven't beefed up to the 7 yet. I'm still good. I think you still running with Studio One too. So what do you think when it comes to strategy that a lot of artists are missing today?
I can't really think of any particular strategy, but I think what frustrates a lot of artists is they just kind of want it to be a quick game. And the way that
Mm,
social media works and like everything now is like all about content, content, content. I mean, you could technically, I guess, be an overnight success, but for the most part, no matter what you do, you got to put the work in. And I know people get tired of hearing, people saying that, but it's just true. Like even with social media, like you're not going to just do one piece of content and thinking that you just going to blow up on one piece of content. Even the people now, that when you look at them, look like they got a big following, they got motion, they doing something. But if you really went back all the way to the
mm,
beginning, them people been doing it for like 3 years. Like think about all the people that do the skits. Like now it's all about, the people, the comedian, all the people doing the little funny skits, whatever. They hit it. And by the time you come across that video, you thinking like, oh man, they just like an overnight success. No, they've been doing skits for like 3 years.
yeah,
You just not hearing about them, but they got 3 years worth
right.
of
Yeah,
skits
yeah,
on social media. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Yeah, we always talk about that 24, 36-month journey. Just stick your head in the sand and just keep clawing at, chipping away at that content mountain until something starts to gain traction and break through. And I'm on that journey now, right? Like it's like, okay, let me first and foremost understand that this is a commitment and I got to be committed to it and understand the end goal in the beginning. Cause I think that's another thing. A lot of people will start that journey and really not have an end game. They'll just be like, I'm just gonna make content and just see where it goes. And I don't know if that's the right answer. Do you think they should have an end game when going down that 24 to 36-month journey?
I mean, I think you should at least have some set goals of what you're trying to accomplish out of doing it. Because if you just kind of like doing it in the dark, like, oh, I'm just gonna throw up some content with no vision, you can easily kind of get swayed, or you could kind of easily get at some point you will just get frustrated with it, and you'll be ready just to like give up on it because you're not gonna really see the vision come to fruition.
Right. Sorry about that.
Hey, real quick before we get too far down the road, so somebody was trying to call me a little while ago. Did that restart the clock? Like did it? Like, well, I don't know what your thing shows as far as how many minutes it's been recording. Mine's only saying like 16 minutes.
No, it didn't. My timer doesn't stop. My timer,
Okay,
I'm the host. So right now we at
okay,
28.
okay. Mine's only saying showing 16.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's on my end because I'm recording it. But
Gotcha.
I just think that a lot of artists, like like this is, I'm always in the dungeon looking, right? Like, and without going too deep into it, like I pay attention when I do a deep dive on an artist. I'm gonna look at the time from when they started to when things start to break. And then if you really pay attention to the way that they post or their social media, you'll start seeing in the beginning they're testing, rinse, repeat till they hit a stride. And then they'll find, okay, this one video for some reason took off. And then whatever that aesthetic is, they dig into that until it ain't got no more gas, till it's out of gas. I see like right now, a lot of performance videos. If you're a artist, it doesn't have to be where you hire a videographer, just grab your phone and perform the song for the producers. And then that's another thing. Because a lot of times, like right now, there's a lot of drum padding videos going on. And that's bringing, for me, I think that's good for Akai because, and rolling for the SB404 and the MPC series of lives that everybody wants to be on camera and tapping pads. But what I realized was a lot of the pads that's being tapped is not live, right? They're just tapping along to high fidelity recordings, which what you should do. And that kind of segues into the next. If I was an artist, how would I go about testing performance videos and other kind of content? Can you speak to that?
I mean, if you haven't seen anybody else do it, then I guess you would almost have to be like the guinea pig to just do it, and you would just have to throw it out there and see what happens.
Right.
I mean, a lot of times when you're the first to do something, it's like you probably won't get the response that you're looking for because you know how it is. People they don't really gravitate to something the first time they see it, but once a couple of people do it like that, and then it's like this whole follower mentality, like, oh, well, since I've seen 10 people do it, it must be cool. Now everybody looking at it, but you did that like 2 months ago, so I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's good to jump on a trend, but it's also like understand that there should be an off ramp or a remix of with your own curation to it. And I think that's where the rubber kind of meets the road, and artists need to really look at, is this really me? Is this really true to me and what my vision is for the art that I'm creating, whatever that may be. That's how I look at it. But like I said, man, I appreciate your time today when it comes to artists, really, buckling down and understanding what they should do in 2025. And I'll definitely tell them that they need to tune into the Unaffiliated Creators podcast to get the rundown all the way on all the tips, tricks, exclusive artist interviews, and really hear from the independent artist perspective of what needs to take place and what to watch, how to strategize, and how to come up with a good plan to make this hobby profitable. I think that's the ultimate goal, because if it ain't bringing in a profit, it is just a hobby.
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with a hobby, man. You gotta do something with your time.
Hey, I love music. Hey, I mean, I love making music. Like I don't make music for money. I took that weight off my art a long time ago, because sometimes we put the weight of the art to produce, and a lot of times it ain't the art itself that's going to bring in money. It's the other things around the art that we should focus on to make profitable, so that we can enjoy making the music. Because a lot of times you'll be like, well, man, I got to do this, man, because the lights and water, like, I know what it feel like. And then in this climate, it was funny. I watched a young lady who she made something. It was a great post. I saved it. And she wanted to address people coming in her DMs. She got fire beats and she was on IG, and she said that, the conflict of people asking for free beats. And she said, she said, I appreciate the enthusiasm. But she said, look, a basic MP3 license is $25. That's her price, $25. You get a little limited license that you can make your little MP3, or you can get an unlimited license where you can actually put it on DSPs for $100. She said at a $25, $100 price point, I'm basically giving the house away for free. So if you can't support me by purchasing a beat, oh, because she said they come in her DMs, oh, you so dope. I just want to work with you. I don't have the money, but I want to support by jumping on the beat. And
Yeah.
she said, I appreciate the love, but let me tell you what you want. And I know you can't afford it right now, but the best way to support me in this challenging moment for you is a like and a share. That's all. And if you don't have, if you can't conduct business with me, just like and share what inspired you.
That's free, right? Just hit the
That's
like and the
free.
share button.
That's
Free.
free.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
free. If you want to support, and I thought that was awesome. I was like, yo, what a way to change that conversation. So, and then the point I'm making is in 2025, MP3 license is $25 and a full unlimited DSP license is $100. So what we're talking about is for $25, she can sell the same beat over and over and over again. And for $100, she got to let it go for $100. That's where we at now. 2025. $25 for the repeatable. And I used to do that too. Like, yo, man, it's a limited. If you want exclusive, you need to be. Now, back in the day.
Yeah, it was a little bit more back in the day, though. Come
So,
on. It wasn't
hey,
no
to get with me
$25.
back in the day, I needed a stack to get the unlimited, right?
Yeah.
I needed about a stack. And then just to play around with it, I needed $250. I ain't even want to talk no more. Because at that time, just to get in a placement, you get about $2,500 up front, and then of course, depending on how your paperwork look, that's what it'll deem what you get on the back end. But if you want B stars, that's about right. $20, $25, I don't know what we want to call them, a shake them down special. That you just kill them. It's the gift that keeps killing, or you can
keep on giving.
Or you can let it go all together for $100.
Once it got watered down that much, we went from $1,000 to $250 to $25. Gosh, almighty.
I mean, but that's the economy, man. So, I mean, with technology, I mean, you got to also think it's going to go worse than that. Because now, based with Suno, you could just be like, look, man, give me a knife one to beat. You type it in. Give me a knife one to beat with a string intro and make it 3 minutes with 8-bar hook, 12-bar bridge, blah, 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 8-4-4. You break down the whole beat via prompt, and that Jane will spit you back a Ninth Wonder-ish style beat for you to get off on. So now what happens is, why would I, as an artist, pay a producer $25 a beat that they're gonna keep sending back out? It's like it's the same bait every time. No fish ever gets to swallow the bait because it's hooked up there so tight it ain't gonna go. And then I'm gonna spend $100 for one beat, whereas I spend $20 on one of these AI platforms. Oh, Suno, $18 a month. So for $18 a month, I could go as fast as I can type. That's how fast I can get a beat. That's how the fast I can think. Hey, I want a OJ sounding, Dilla chopped, Ninth Wonder drums, Pete Rock swing, and it's gonna spit it out to you. And I can do as fast as I said that and typed it, it gave me that. So I could do that all day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night. And if I'm one of those artists that I just never get tired of writing, I could do 50 albums in a day. And I only spent $18 for the month. I spent $18 for the month, and I got beat after beat after beat. And here's the other part of it. I don't have to give you any credit. I don't have to give nobody no credits. So I produced it because I typed it.
There you go.
And Suno for $18 gives you all the stems, that you can mix. Now they may not have the knowledge or know how to mix it, but they'll have the stems to send to. You go to engineers, you can get an engineers from Mixed by Ali, and you can get your engineer that'll mix the track for a couple of $100. Now you good. Drop it on DSP. And you get all the credit. And it's all yours. Or you could do like we talked earlier. If you're really smart, if you can come up with that many beats that fast and write all them songs, you really could do a project a month. Because it only take you a weekend to get enough beats because you know in your head what you want, as long as you can type it. If you go listen to enough beats, you be like, yo, I want track 1 to sound like Ninth Wonder. I want track 2 to sound like Havoc. Or I want track 3 to sound like Alchemist. Now you got all the beats. You got the perfect hip-hop album. Now you can go out there and you can press up your CD. Press up 100 of them jankies. Let them people see you writing and then you performing all of it with your phone for free. You don't even need no videographer. So you did all, and let's just say you took the time, because for free, you can go on YouTube and figure out how to mix that record and then mix it yourself, put it out yourself, press it yourself. Now you got a viable business all off $18 a month.
Direct to consumer.
Direct to consumer. Between your phone and $18. And if you want to get fancy, and I meant to tell you, all the AI tools that you can use, Runway for your real polished AI videos, Midjourney for your second rate visualizers. Do your visualizers on Midjourney, right? Then Envato, I didn't even notice till today, it has an AI engine to create templates for you. It will do the same thing. It will do all the things that Envato elements do. Now it has an AI prompt inside of Envato, and until January, it's unlimited prompts that you can use. So there is no excuse.
Ain't no excuse.
There's no excuse. So how do you, the question becomes, how does a producer stay relevant? And that's like on the other part we was talking about. I was like, I don't feel bad for artists when they start talking about, well, the AI artist is coming. You better use the AI. You know you can't sing that background 100%. You better get Jody, the AI artist, to sing them background, right? Huh? Like, you know you wanted that duet, but you can't find nobody on your level in your area. Bing, there it is. You do a duet with something that sounds like D'Angelo or PJ Morton. Boom, there it go.
You want the American accent, you want the English, British.
You can get it all. You can get it all.
Bad.
Right. And I don't think that the conversation is robust enough right now in the producer artist community. I think it's more culture shock right now and not looking at the flip side. I think people need to look at I could work faster. Right. This thing has still, and what I know, just like we was talking about on the other pod, some people say, well, I'm gonna just use AI for everything. Still need the foundation of good design, because AI is gonna spit you back. It's funny now. I can tell when people use Chat GPT for graphics, because everybody's graphics that come out of Chat GPT, they don't give Chat GPT the references that it needs to. And so all of the people, the way it was trained, it just spits out the same kind of images to everybody. So whether you doing artwork for your merch to print up or graphics for CD covers, social media, everybody, it all starts to look the same, because you have to train the AI first you have to train the AIs with your taste level. If not, you're going to get the taste level of who created it. And I think that's the best way to put it. But yeah, man, like I said, man, I appreciate you coming on the pod with me. And we doing this mini pod, which right now we've been running for about 40 minutes. I thought we was going to be in and out. But look, I appreciate it. I know you got somewhere you got to be. Once again, Ladies and gentlemen, check out my man KA every day on the Unaffiliated Creators podcast. And they can find you on IG and YouTube. And we'll put the link in the at the end of the mini pod. We got it. Appreciate
All
y'all.
right, man.
We
I'll
out.
holler.
All right.